And welcome back. And today we are joined by Michael Tytula. Michael, how about you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Mike or Michael Tytula. I am a YouTuber. I guess I can be called a biologist, even though I haven't had that job yet. And a reptile keeper.
And how long have you been keeping reptiles, man?
Almost 11 years coming this August.
And that's about the same amount of time you've been doing YouTube.
Oh, no, sorry. Reptiles I've had since I was 8. So like 16 years. And YouTube is 10 years or almost 11, I guess.
Yeah. You've been doing it since God was a boy. You've had them the whole time.
Yep.
And look, you got this YouTube channel going. It's going well for you.
Yeah.
74K right now.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, you're doing good.
That's good.
Thanks.
Man. Holy shit.
Thanks.
Because when you think of like, okay, if you are an individual who thinks of reptile YouTubers, you wouldn't imagine there being many. But it seems like you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. There's I don't know how well versed you guys are in the whole sphere, but there's kind of like a pet tube where it's a lot of like pet keeping in general. They do pretty well. The thing that the people who do well in that sphere have to do is kind of cater to a much wider audience and produce a lot of, I guess, clickbait. And that's something that, I mean, I'll make an intriguing title or kind of silly thumbnail, but I'd like to kind of keep it true to the actual medium itself. So, I mean, I probably could be bigger if I did some stupid things, but you know,
you don't want to be that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're better off doing what you're doing. I like what you're doing.
Thanks.
So
Appreciate
keep it up, my man. But yeah, we said we'd have a little chat about reptiles and the like. Because we've done some weird ones like this where we've had like a wasp expert on to talk about wasps.
Cool.
We've had a dart frog expert on to talk about dart frogs.
Who was it?
Jack Small was
Jack Small.
Dart Frog.
Jack.
And
Okay.
then
Yeah.
the wasp expert. Who was the wasp expert, Jared?
Sloan Tomlinson.
Sloan Tomlinson.
Yeah, I don't know that name.
But you know Jack? Do you?
Yeah. I think I'm friends with him. I don't talk to him.
Jack Small Frogs is his thing.
Yeah. I've definitely seen him and chatted with him before, but we're not like good pals or anything like that.
You know, you're not calling each other all the time.
No,
Yeah,
certainly
you don't have it like the way me and Jack have it.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah,
Jealous of you guys.
He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I think you're all cool dudes. Like everyone falls into these niches in their lives, and if you don't, there's something going on. But for you, it ended up being reptiles, and you know, when people think of reptiles, they're thinking. If they think about the modern stuff, they're thinking about like the giant Komodo dragons and alligators and the occasional like bearded dragon.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some other lads thinking out there like T-Rex and stuff. But we don't have anything like that hanging around anymore.
Unfortunately not. I wish we did. Well, maybe
Fortunately.
Not. Yeah. I guess it depends what you think about the human race.
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually,
well, maybe unfortunately is a good word then, but I know.
Yeah. Well, we know a guy who's working on like bringing dinosaurs back using chicken genes, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, it's a lot of science and Jurassic Park feels on that one.
Yeah. Well, he also was a scientific advisor for those movies. So
nice.
You think he'd learn. But
yeah, it just pushes him forward further.
Are you familiar with that giant lizard that used to live in Australia? It was like a giant Komodo dragon.
Not off the top, like Megalania.
That's the one. That's the baby.
I don't know it like in depth. I know the name, but
well, you know it was like a giant lizard.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
That
you put a muzzle on that thing and let people ride on its back.
I don't know. You'd need a really big heat bulb for that.
Good point. Maybe that's why they went away.
Yeah.
But when you're dealing with reptiles, like at your place, what kind of stuff are you dealing with?
We got. Is that what you're looking for? Is just kind of the list of what we deal with here personally?
Name to name, alphabetical order, please.
Okay.
No, like just in general, like, are you working with like more lizards? Are you working with tortoises? What's going on?
Kind of a little bit of everything. I wasn't allowed to have a snake until I moved out. in October, I actually moved to Ontario, so across Canada to live with my girlfriend, and we're actually in her parents' house still. So that's a whole nother story. But
It's okay.
yeah, I mean, hey, save money while you can.
There you go. Exactly.
And yeah, so I wasn't allowed to have a snake until that point. Shortly after I arrived here, I ended up getting my first snake. So we do have some snakes. She breeds hog noses. They're a little kind of relatively short little snake that's pretty awesome.
Don't they play dead?
They do. Yep. That's probably where you've seen them. And then we do have a lot of lizards, primarily is what we have. I also have a couple turtles, a tortoise, and I also have amphibians like frogs and stuff.
Yeah. Out of interest, are your girlfriend's parents like cool with snakes? Because I presume they'd have to be. That'd
be a weird conversation if they weren't and he got one.
Yeah. I don't think they were like
how's the couch for, buddy?
But yeah, exactly right. I don't think they were off the bat, but she ended up bringing them in before I was here, so I don't nothing I need to worry about.
Yeah, they're a weird thing, reptiles. You know, we think of them as being like super fucking primitive. Like if you want to think of like any kind of intelligence we can look at, you think of like mammals straight away. Maybe birds, every occasional parrots as a funny joke. Or maybe you seen that thing with cephalopods recently. Wasn't there like
there's a couple different tests that they've done. Yeah. Cognition and stuff.
But you don't really think about lizards. Are they really as dumb as they look?
No, definitely. Well, It depends on the lizard you're talking about. There's a lot that are like Megalania is kind of I guess a precursor to things like Varanus and the genus that is the Komodo dragon and the other monitor lizards. And the monitor lizards are insanely smart. Like you can train them, you can like teach them to do commands, you can do a whole bunch of different stuff with them. I have never personally done that, but I know it is possible. So there's more than meets the eye, like Transformers.
Yeah, fair enough. I've seen stuff like that before. I know when I was growing up, there was a show called Jesse, and one of the kids in that had a monitor lizard as his pet, and it was like its a whole character like by itself.
Yeah,
kind of cool. But yeah, man, you don't think of them as being that smart, but I guess evidence to the contrary.
Yeah,
you having some mic problems there?
Yeah,
give a second. Thomas, what's your favorite lizard?
Muted. I didn't want to make a bunch of bumping sounds or anything.
I don't know much about lizards to have a favorite one. I just kind of, I'm more like I like them all. You know, like I don't have preferences.
You love them equally.
Yeah,
you're not like lizardist.
No, Christ no.
You're not into lizardism.
All lizard lives are equal.
You know who my favorite lizard is?
Who? Fucking Godzilla.
No, it's your man who made Facebook.
Funny. Yeah. That's a fucking good one. But I presume you were rooting for Godzilla in that film.
Yeah,
it was. That was a good film. I enjoyed it.
I loved it.
It was. There was a lot of plot holes, but there was. If you just wanted to see giant animals beat each other up, it's pure entertainment. That's what it's there for.
But you weren't looking for like a rom-com in there. You're looking for big thing hit big thing.
Exactly.
Which big thing win?
Yeah, good CGI and lots of sound effects. That's what I was hoping for.
Nuclear lizard versus big monkey.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was. I haven't seen it yet. I really should.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Give it. No spoilers, lads. No spoilers.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Okay, I guess I won't talk much more about it then.
You were saying beforehand you wanted to do a podcast yourself, yeah?
Yeah.
You got the setup for it. So, what kind of ideas you bring to that?
I don't know if you guys have listened to other reptile podcasts or anything out there, but it's basically just bringing on people that are smarter than myself to talk about what they do and pick questions about breeding certain lizards or keeping different animals, conservation. I mean, I'd also like to just start one just talking like friends, kind of. Can I swear?
Yeah.
It depends what word you're going to say.
Shit.
Oh, whoa.
Thanks
Stop.
everybody for
Okay,
watching. No,
man.
yeah,
Stop
no,
fucking
you can
around,
curse. We're
dude.
Irish, buddy.
Come
We're
on,
Irish.
no way.
Okay. I figured I didn't want to like assume. So
No, go ahead.
yeah, just
Absolutely.
shooting the shit with some friends would be awesome. But
Maybe shooting the sugar. I'm still.
Stop.
No, I don't care.
He said that like yesterday's episode with someone shooting the sugar.
no.
But yeah, look, man, that's one thing that I love about podcasts. You just find like a couple interesting people, have a conversation.
Yeah.
Like I don't myself and yourself and Thomas, we'd never have met otherwise.
No.
But we get to have a cool conversation about like what you're an expert in.
Exactly. I mean, it's
Yeah.
picking people's brain and learning while you're doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, like what kind of people do you follow when you're taking a look at this stuff? Like your Instagram feed, what kind of stuff you got in there?
It's
Like when you
basically
look-
all anything from like tattoo artists to other keepers to researchers. It's kind of all
Who
across.
would be
the
like the
gamut.
biggest in that field?
As in like most followers, or
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah,
yeah,
that's kind of.
probably Brian Barczyk is one of them. He's got like 3 million subscribers on YouTube. I mean, I've met him several times and hung out with him before, so it's a great pleasure to see him doing so well.
Cool guy.
Yeah, one of
Well, there you
the.
go.
I mean, he gets a lot of like if you dig into it, he gets a lot of hate online, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah. I wonder why you get hate.
That's online, man. I mean, we had a guy on like 2 days ago who's like the nicest guy you'll ever meet. Like his name's Johnny Stans, and he's a veteran who's on. Have you heard of Gold Rush?
Yeah,
like the TV show. He's on that, and people just have this fascination with. They do not like him and his team.
Yeah, they were unexperienced veterans who just wanted to get together and go gold mining, and this show picked them up and we're like, sure, do it here. And yeah, that's what they're doing.
Wow.
But for some reason, because they're not experts, people hate them.
Yeah,
It's this idea of like, you don't want to see the process of someone learning, you want to see the results. You're watching the show, you want to see the person that gets that big chunk of gold.
Yeah.
You don't want the guy whose machine is fucking up and they got a smidgen.
No.
You know?
Yeah. You want to see the huge payoffs, not the build up to get there.
Which is fair. Like you wouldn't watch like, I was about to say Deadliest Catch, but you probably wouldn't watch it anyway.
I did. I used to as a kid all the time.
Same. Discovery Channel was like my TV.
Oh, it was primo. Back in the day, it was so good.
Dude,
now it's just
it was unreal. I now look at it like,
yeah, it's gone downhill.
What has become of us?
Oh, it's.
I like your mug, by the way.
Terrible.
Thank you.
But yeah, man, like you wouldn't want to see the guy pulling up the cage and has like 2 crabs in it. You want to see the thing where the crabs are, like neatly packed in, like they're ready to go.
You either want a full cage or an empty cage, one of the two.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. But that's kind of expectations on TV.
Yeah.
Do you get any kind of like shit like that where your viewers' expectations weren't met on your YouTube channel?
I don't know. I'm
read
not
the
a
comments?
viewer. I mean, I think there's some things that I do that a lot of other people don't, that is kind of nice and transparent in a sense that, I'm not hiding stuff from people for no reason. I'm being completely open and honest when an animal dies or something happens. It's not, I like transparency. I'm just a very like open person in general. I'll answer most questions and
I
not
can
really
tell
even
you seem very
hesitate.
friendly.
Yeah. So I'm not like a super hard ass or anything like that. I just kind of go with the flow and hang out.
You're better off.
Yeah. Makes life a lot easier.
If you just like flipped all of those to the opposite, you'd be a fucking asshole. No one want to talk to you.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Look, no, you seem friendly enough, and I like what you got going on.
Thanks.
Yeah. So you're working with not only lizards, you're working like with tortoises and so on. And I seen one the other day, and I was like, that is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Do you mind if I pull it up?
Sure. Yeah, go for
it. Okay. I thought I'd just let you know. So where are we now?
Is it a turtle?
It was a turtle. It was like your third most recent thing.
I bet you it's a model.
Oh, it's one of your pictures. Oh, Jared, that's horrible.
That's so funny, Thomas. Thomas, you need to let me share my screen.
Oh, sugar. My bad. I didn't know. All right.
There he goes again, sugar.
There he is. Yeah.
All right, boom, boom. What is this dude? What is this dude? Oh my god! Like he looks like a chicken's head on a turtle's body.
It really does look exactly like that. Yeah, that photo in particular is pretty bad, but the species themselves are endangered and are very expensive and rare in the hobby. So,
bro, the thing was looking into my soul. What the fuck?
That's an interesting picture. Oh my god.
That's actually at Brian's place, at Brian Barczyk's that I just mentioned. That's
wow.
Oh, look at you.
Three-legged alligator.
I was trying to find alligators, not your. Sorry.
No worries.
But yeah, you got other stuff in there. Some sound lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like you got some cool stuff going on there.
Thanks.
Some cool stuff.
Try to keep it interesting.
Now, like when I get interested in like reptiles or whatever, I'm kind of more on the side of like extinct ones or like living fossils.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you checked us out beforehand, but we've had like plenty of like paleontologist guys on.
Yep.
Like man, crocodilians, they're pretty fucking cool. They're monsters.
Wild. Yeah. They're wild.
Like they're from that group Archosaur, which is like the group that led into dinosaurs and like a croc's closest living relation is like a bird.
Yeah.
That's how wide that family is.
Technically reptiles.
Yeah. They're also technically fish. Everything's technically a fish.
That's very true.
There you go.
Very true. They're all archosaurs. Well, not fish, but yeah. Descendants of them.
Yeah. But yeah, man, like I wouldn't imagine them as being like the coziest animal to be around, crocodilians.
They're not. I mean, you can tame them down with work, but especially crocodiles, they're wild. They're easily is an interesting word, but they're tameable to a sense. Like you can target train them and you can train them to calls and stuff, but you see that a lot with alligators, not so much with crocodilians.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I guess just overall demeanor. Crocodiles tend to be a lot more reactive and gung-ho, I guess is a good word for it. Whereas alligators tend to be a little bit more laid back and more sensible when it comes to dealing with them.
Yeah. Maybe it's like the alligators are around people more.
Yeah.
Like just around the side. Like if you go into Florida, like holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
When I was there, that was an experience. Oh my God. I was like 11 and terrified. Just alligators everywhere. Going to Disney, you seen some alligators on the side.
Yeah. Well, even Alligator Alley, we'd go there when I was a kid. And probably if you're
they do like crocodile shows and stuff.
Alligator Alley is a road, so it's like a long road down the panhandle of Florida, and it's the speed bumps are alligators. Like you'll see like roadkill alligators, and you just think, a 600-pound alligator getting ran over. That throw the suspension out in your car.
You run over the alligator, and then you're fixing the car after, and he's like not even phased.
My turn for a bite.
Yeah,
I remember when I was in Florida, man. They are everywhere. Like, they just like, it's so weird, especially like in Ireland, because the thing that roams around here is sheep. That wouldn't fucking like seriously, but like they're just.
I'd rather hit an alligator than a sheep, to be fair.
Yeah, it's cooler. But yeah, sheep will just kind of like ram into your dick. Like they're just dickheads like that. They're assholes.
Yeah.
They'll just like run at you and duck the head and
bash you.
Yeah. And because they're so short, it's always a dick level.
Yep.
Which is an alligator. Look, it'll tear your leg off, but at least it's happy then.
Yeah.
It's not your dick.
There's no returning. There's no attitude. It's just a simple rip and go.
Like, are you using that? Oh, thanks. But yeah, like it's kind of weird over here. Like there's basically like no reptiles. Like St. Patrick and the boys, they kind of got the snakes out of here. But
they did their best.
It's true. Oh, they did, man. There's still snakes all over Ireland. Trust me.
Yeah, Thomas is right there. There's one of them.
Got him.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look up some of the Irish ones there. I think there's like a legless lizard, and then there's one that lives in like what I think lives in the west of Ireland, and it's just lives up in the mountains. It doesn't lay eggs though. It gives birth to live young, which is kind of a weird adaptation.
Could be. Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of reptiles that actually give birth to live young.
Irish reptiles.
I don't know any. I'll be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah,
not
most
that-
boas do. There's some chameleons that do. Yeah, that's most of them. But there's also some like lapids and some of the venomous stuff that does as well.
Take a
But
look.
venomous is not my forte.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, you're a bit odd.
I mean, I'll go like I went herping. Herping is like the term known to go look for reptiles and amphibians and stuff. And I would go when I'm in Arizona, and we'll find rattlesnakes and stuff like that. But it's reptiles.
There he is, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of one that
What
hangs
lizard?
around here.
Eurasian lizard.
Huh.
You guys have green sea turtles? What?
I'm assuming they just passed by.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen a sea turtle in Ireland, in fairness. I've never even seen those fuckers.
No.
And I spend a lot of time out in the woods and so on. I do
never seen
archery.
them?
I do it
Wow.
outside, so I normally. Yeah, no, I've never seen them. Never seen them
Huh.
because they're only in one certain part.
Oh wow. I
Oh,
imagine
it
like
appears to
south,
have them.
east, south,
Yeah.
Southern Ireland.
Coastal boglands and mountainous areas. We live in a bog, so that I don't know how about that though. Because you'd think we'd have seen one by now.
Yeah, you'd think.
No.
I mean, they're probably pretty secretive, and they don't look very big. So
Yeah, I wonder how big they are. But yeah,
That thing
Kinda
looks
took me in
tiny in
sense.
his hand like this.
yeah.
I
I mean,
also
that's his thumb. So like, I mean,
Yeah.
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 perspective, right?
Christ.
I'd also never seen a fucking squirrel in Ireland until last year, or a deer
squirrel?
until like 6 months ago.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's just a everyday occurrence here.
Seriously, I've never
It
seen a
is just-
squirrel.
bad luck on my part, man.
And then,
Yeah.
I live in the middle of nowhere as well. You think they'd be pretty rare here, but where
Yeah.
where did you see one, Jared, when you were out doing archery?
Which one, the deer or the squirrel?
Squirrel, man.
I was in Mountain Woods.
All right.
Yeah, we were doing some archery, and my mom's like just having a chat, and she's like, "Oh, look at the squirrel! Look at the squirrel! It's over there!" And everyone's like, "Huh?" A bunch of heads, whoop, and yeah, things like sprinting away.
What
Because
color was it?
seen it? Gray.
Gray. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, conservation with mammals is probably a bit easier than with reptiles because
So it's
mammals
easier to
seem to live
spread the
everywhere.
word. Yeah, it's easier to spread the word because everybody looks at, I mean, even a squirrel and you're like, oh, that's kind of cute. But you look at
Yeah,
a
in
snake
fairness.
and you're like, why?
Yeah, the snake doesn't
Yeah.
care about me.
No, exactly. I mean, to be fair, nor does the squirrel, but
Plus, there's also a really big phobia around reptiles,
Yeah.
especially like with snakes. With
snakes
I don't,
especially.
I don't
get
know
a
why that
really
is.
bad rap.
Is it because they look scary or something, or why do you think it is?
I don't know the science behind it. I have heard a couple differing opinions that like humans are innately scared of snakes just as like a survival strategy, but I don't know how accurate that is, and I'm willing to bet that it's probably not the case. I mean, I could see how if you're in Africa, Australia, stuff like that, it would make a bit more sense, but the average snake that you're going to come across here is like a garter snake. So I mean, evolutionarily, it's so hard to say. I'm sure the study's been done, but I didn't have the time to look into that. So I don't
Yeah.
have the answer for
Yeah.
sure.
Because most people seem to be extremely scared of snakes, having never actually seen one in their life. Like,
True.
I remember,
Yeah.
was it last year, Jared, there was a snake found in our area for like the first time in years. Remember that article came out about
Yeah,
someone found a snake in their back garden and
freaked out.
yeah,
A lot of times though, it's parents as well. Like it's your environment that you're raised up in. Even if you're not likely to encounter a snake, a lot of parents will still ingrain in their children, like, that's a snake, be scared of it. And
Or
as a young
cartoons.
kid, yeah, cartoons too don't help. It's there's a lot of different factors that that need to
Like-
be taken into consideration for it to actually be
Yeah.
solid.
Like how many times has the words snake been said in a cartoon? I
gosh.
can think of so many right now.
yeah,
It's
I
been
couldn't
it's
even
been a
imagine.
minute since I watched cartoons, in fairness.
Same.
So yeah. I don't know. It's one of those things. But also like a lizard doesn't look as cute as like a dog.
No,
You know, if you're gonna put
definitely.
money towards anything, you're gonna put like towards like a polar bear or something.
Yep, casually riding them to
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, well, if you bring back the Megalania, you'd be riding out to school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool.
I don't know what that is. Can you pull up a picture of that? Like, I have
I'm
no
gonna
idea.
pull up. I want to bring up a couple like extinct reptiles because I
Yeah,
find them
please.
really interesting.
How big is
So-
the Megalania though?
Huge.
Large?
Yeah.
Well, it's the biggest lizard they'd ever found.
Seriously? Wow.
Like from like the lizard group. Am I right in saying that?
I believe so.
So let's pull this up here now, lads. Oh, I should have closed that tab anyway. Yeah, I'm kidding. Yeah, about that size, Thomas. That's what you're looking at.
7 meters, 23 feet.
It's still loading for okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
That's a big boy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty big. Wow.
yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I doubt they would have been very fast.
I might
Say
be
these
surprised. Even those Komodos that's what it's based off, the one that you have right there. It's basically just an enlarged Komodo dragon. And I don't know what their top speed is by any stretch, but they'll outrun you and I and most people I know.
I know like it's basically like shown to be some kind of enlarged Komodo dragon. Do you
Yeah.
think there's any substance to that or
same genus? So yeah, I imagine it's
but there's still like a lot
relatively
of
similar.
diversity in that family.
There is a lot of diversity in Varanus, but it's so hard to say. It was likely from a similar spot. I'm totally
Okay.
talking on my ass on this one, but
I'm sure you're not an expert in this one. In fairness,
no, I'm like,
Have you ever heard of Boverosuchus?
it sounds familiar. I probably when I see a picture, I'll see it, but
I'm probably butchering the
it's
spelling so
definitely
bad.
like a crocodilian of some kind.
Oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's sake. Come on,
All right.
Jared.
I think it's like a huffed
It doesn't exist.
croc. Yeah, huffed croc. Of course, that comes up beforehand. Yeah, it was this one like it kind of like got more adapted for I guess being on land after the old dinosaurs kicked the bucket. This isn't the only one. Like there's one in Australia that was like a galloping one, like a proper. This one was more
there's
slow
like
moving.
Sarcosuchus and Capros as well.
Which is fair because they were like the only big thing left around after dinosaurs went bye-bye.
Yeah.
So it would only make sense that they might spend more time on land if there's no major land predators. So
yeah. They make
here's-
use of it.
here's the lad. Yeah. That's kind of freaky. You see that thing coming towards you.
Yeah, that would really suck.
Like you see,
Especially if the like hind limb placement is accurate, then they're very well adapted to being on land.
yeah.
Yeah. And unlike, like modern crocs or whatever, rather than these cone teeth, they had serrated teeth like
Sharks.
dinosaurs would have had or sharks, which is even worse.
Nope. Yep. That's a hard no from me.
That's a fucking rough time. That's a rough time. Yeah, that's kind of. I can't think of the other kind of running croc, so I'll give that a close for now.
Capros are more four-legged from what I know.
I think they're all four-legged, right? No, what's it called?
Capro Suchus.
Man, it would be so freaky if you were at a swamp and you saw a fucking crocodile, and next thing you know, it comes out of the fucking water and starts running at you.
I see a lot of this for like, yeah, that'd be fucking weird, wouldn't it? I see a lot of it for like the game Ark, but that's kind of all I'm seeing. Yeah, look, these are all kind of from Ark.
Yeah, most of them are from Ark.
In fairness, yeah, is that what the school would have been? I'll go into the Wikipedia. Take an old peek, will we? Been nicknamed the boar croc. Wonder why. That's a weird looking face.
You're on the wiki right now?
Yes.
Yeah, this is like an
It's from the Upper Cretaceous. So it wasn't around after dinosaurs, it was during dinosaurs, right?
Yep. I sent you a link. You can click on that. That's kind of what it looks like. There's also Dinosuchus.
What, the one that was on 2 legs?
Nope. It's just a massive, massive croc.
You got that link too?
Yeah.
Sorry if you're listening to this. We're looking at cool crocodiles.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
sure you go
We're
watch
having
the
a sound
podcast.
old
We're
time.
busy. Gosh.
Check it out on YouTube if you're listening to this on
Can't I-
Spotify.
Yeah, if you want to get the best experience, you check it out on YouTube. Where you
Honest to
see
God.
like my blindingly bleached face today because I was trying
Yeah.
to lighten that I need to fix.
Yeah, he looks like a ginger. He's not actually.
I'm not ginger. That's okay. Right.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. Caprosukis. So was this
yeah.
pre or post KT?
That's an answer that I will have to find.
Bro, look
All
at
right.
that.
That is a
100 million
freaky
years ago.
guy.
Shit, man. That looks
How many?
fucking terrifying.
100 million years ago.
All
The
right.
boar crocodile.
Jesus.
That is a lad you don't want to be finding down an alley.
No. And
That's
the
rough.
Dinosuchus is even larger, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, this guy is just a beast. Okay, that's a terrible graph. Not a graph, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that's better.
So this one is this scale to? Okay, it's not scaled with modern croc. I don't know what that is. That's like the smallest version of the group, and that was the largest of the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't give us a slight comparison to
I
actually.
mean,
Right.
still 13 meters. Like, how long is a bus? 10? Something like that?
Big man.
Shit.
Okay, so that's the
fuck.
comparison. That's a small dude. It will eat you in one bite if you're listening right now. The picture of this crocodile, it's more like an outline, but it shows the size compared to a guy, and it will eat you in one bite. Maybe two, barely, just to get the ankles, basically.
Yeah.
It's a fucking big lad.
Yeah, so think about it. A school bus, an average school bus is like 9 to 10 meters in length. So that's like 2 school buses. Put it in perspective.
Oh Christ, man.
Okay, these are American ones. Other ones are fucking short.
You know, it kind of
Yeah.
makes me
I've seen the ones in
thankful I was
America.
born now instead of back 150 million years ago. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
you dodged that bullet just by a little bit.
yeah. I mean,
Who knows, man? We could fucking go extinct. We'd go the way of the dodo, right?
oh, I think
it'll be
we're
like
heading that
fucking-
way.
Chimp lads. The chimps will finally figure it out. They're in the Stone Age at the moment. They'll get the bronze and be looking back and be like, remember those lads
Yeah.
with their big sticks and their stones and their phones? Weren't they mental? Wasn't that crazy? Maybe when we leave the planet or whatever, something will look back on us like, what the fuck was that, man? That was evil. That was
These
crazy.
things were crazy.
Should you-
Digging
yeah.
up shit.
we were talking about it yesterday, Jared, about the monkey with the Neuralink thing. Did you look into it? Who's
Well,
playing
no,
Pong?
it's absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, isn't it? Like,
What? Fill me in.
so
You know what Neuralink is?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is though.
Elon
Thomas,
Musk.
do you want to explain it?
So basically, it's a chip implanted in your brain that does it connect you to the internet, Jared, or something? I'm not really sure what it is, really.
Well, it
Yeah.
allows you to access information at like a incredibly fast speed.
Fast
So
speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they put one in a monkey's brain or a chimp's brain, and he sat there playing Pong, like the
With his
video game
mind.
Pong with his mind.
Weird.
Bro,
That's
that-
crazy.
This is that fucking. You ever seen that movie? What's it called? Planet of the Apes. Yes. That's how this shit starts.
Oh my man! Imagine giving like a chimp all like access to the internet through its brain. Would that actually get smarter, or would it just look up banana?
Yeah, that's how to eat shit.
Yeah, yeah. Where banana? How to get banana? Banana bottom text. Yeah, I can imagine that going a couple of ways.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Someone said like something similar, not to the same extent before on a different podcast I watched, and it was like we know like there's this whole like ancient alien hypothesis, whatever is that this theory,
Yeah.
and they say like something helped us out along the way, but then someone asked the question of like, how come we don't do that for like chimps or bonobos or whatever, like
we
anything?
help them build pyramids.
No, how come we don't teach them like anything at all? Like, there's never been like a study or an experiment ever
We've taught them
conducted.
to sign. We've taught them to use.
Yeah,
like,
but these aren't things that like
words.
got us along.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, they're not going to sign to each other.
No,
but like, if something helped us along the way to learn, say, agriculture, obviously it'd be very difficult to teach a chip agriculture.
Yeah.
Well, would it be put seed in ground? Wait.
I don't think the like mental capacity is the issue. I mean, chimps are designed to be on 4 limbs, right? Like that's why we're so special, is because we can stand on 2 for long periods of time. And for them having to balance and like use some machinery or something, it would have to be completely different than
I'm not saying like to make them like use machinery. I'm saying like, because fucking I think
stick your finger in the ground, put a seed in it, that kind of
deal.
Deal.
That kind of deal.
I mean,
like how come we don't try teaching them this shit? Or would people see that as like some kind of
I think we're
ethical
scared of them.
dilemma?
Oh no, I think people
a chip would rip your fucking head off.
That's what I mean, right? I mean, people think, oh no, now they know how to grow food. Next thing we know, human extinct. You know, like
well, once you start growing your own food, you have a lot more time. And when you have a lot more time, you can think. You can plan, you can think, you can invent. That's when it gets scary, man. Like there's chimps that have made spears.
Yeah.
Like they hunt other like monkeys with spears.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep. Seeing a chimp chasing like a red colobus monkey or a black and white colobus is so crazy. In my undergrad, that would be even terrifying, more terrifying. But how they do it is they'd like, one would go into the trees and chase through the trees, and the whole rest of the troop would run under it. And the second the colobus monkey made a mistake, landed to the ground, it's just feeding fest right on top, dead monkey.
It makes me feel so bad about having them in zoos, bro. I mean, it's such a.
Why do you feel bad about that?
What do you mean? Like,
they're I understand why you feel
spears,
bad,
man.
You just went from like, they chase down these tiny monkeys and eat them alive. Man, I feel bad there.
Well, I mean,
I feel bad. They should be allowed to rip apart monkeys, man.
No, I'm saying like we're stopping their development. You know, like.
Yeah, but there's still some out there that are still developing.
Yeah.
Like at this point, it's more of a conservation effort.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the way we're destroying the world, it's not going to be around for much longer.
And don't they reckon that there'll never be like another? If we go the way of the dodo, there's not enough resources to do another industrial revolution. Like,
I don't know.
This is it.
I have no idea.
Thomas, you ever hear about that?
No.
So like the chimps ain't doing too well if we disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. These are the kind of questions you have to ask.
They can have their spears then, you know.
Leave them with them. Leave them with them. Yeah. We'll teach them about lizards. Michael, we'll send you out to a troop of chimps. They'll either maul you or let you teach them about chimps.
Yeah, exactly.
Or teach them. Reptiles.
Yeah, I'll teach them about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know how we got here.
We went down the rabbit hole of
kind of went on primal stuff and got to here.
Yeah, that's where we landed.
Was that a big part of what got you interested in that field?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I had every dinosaur book I could possibly get my hands on. I knew the name of every single one. Like I would correct my parents and stuff like that.
Same.
Yeah, that's kind of where it all started.
Like, no, Mom, it's an ankylosaur. Why didn't you know that? Yeah. I don't know. There's some they're cool, man. They'll never be anything like that again. Never. Not even with us, like messed around with genes and shit.
Hey, who knows? We all know how well Jurassic World went.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it went pretty well. They made like 5 movies. Why keep reopening it?
It's just rolling the dice every time.
Yeah, it's like it won't happen again. It won't happen again.
Mosasaur into the ocean. Who cares?
Yeah. I actually, speaking of that, I'm gonna pull up the Chickenosaurus thing because I know you're not familiar with it, Michael. It's a fucking or Mike, yeah, it's a fucking sound old thing, man.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
We had a guy on before, Jack Horner.
Legend of a man. He wasn't he the dinosaur consultant for all the Jurassic Park films and even the new one, like
all of them except the one coming.
Wow.
So I'll show it to you now because I'll be sound that way.
Yeah,
excuse that.
And he has everything pretty knocked out now except the tail, isn't it, Jude?
Tail's the only thing they can't do. So this lovely gentleman there, Jack Horner. He's a sound old lad. So
you guys had him on the show?
Oh yeah.
That's so sick.
We had him on like super early. I have no idea how because I said like at the start, my dream guest is Jack Horner, and then like maybe a month later, Jack Horner's on, and I'm sitting there like,
gosh, that's
fanboying out. Yeah, but look, the idea is that they can change the position of its legs to that walk more like a dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
They can give it teeth. They can get rid of the beak, give it a snout, more like an alligator style snout.
Yep.
They can give it these arms. Like stop the finger bones from conjoining. But the one thing they can't do, it's all atavistic genes. Like, me and you, we could have been unfortunately born with a tail. You know, like the gene still exists there. It doesn't get turned on very often, but it can be.
Yeah, so there are people born with like 2 extra vertebrae.
Yeah.
And it like makes a little like tail.
But it's just stuff like that. Like, I don't think there's ever been like birds born with like these characteristics normally. But you know,
that's wild.
The idea is use what's already in the genetics and then go from there. But the problem is if they can't do a tail, what do they got realistically? Because like the longest tail in any known bird species comes from penguins, and it's a nub. It is a nub. There's nothing there.
Yeah,
and it's not much like it stops being like a. Also, if they do it, it proves evolution. Full stop.
That's a good point, yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah, like this is what he said when he was on. But yeah, if they have to use like another archosaur, like I don't know, some kind of alligator claiming kind of thing to get a tail, they just ruined the whole thing. It no longer becomes like a just use from it.
Yeah. You got to figure out what genes to turn on and turn off, and try and make it from its own genome. Although you can use CRISPR and stuff, which works. Yeah,
but they want to avoid it at all costs. But realistically, you'll end up with something like this, more so than like an actual dinosaur-looking thing. Like it'll have a tiny head, a tiny little thing. You'll see the arms, tail probably not. So you remove the tail, you're probably gonna look at something like that.
Yeah, a defeated chicken.
Yeah, and the great thing about it, if they do it, if it breeds, it's a chicken. So guess what comes from it? It's another chicken. Those things won't carry through. They're just like developmental genes that'll be turned on.
Yeah.
So
they're just activated.
It's kind of like a really fucked up chicken. Like it's probably gonna have a hard time, picking seeds off the ground. It just stubs its nose.
But man, chickens are wild. You throw a mouse in front of one of those things, it's gone.
Yeah.
Like imagine that with teeth, a tail, like little weird vestigial arms. Like that would just be nightmare fuel.
Most people don't realize like
throw like a small rabbit or something in there and just like ding ding.
Yeah. Man, people don't realize like how crazy animals are, like how wild they can be.
Yeah.
Because most animals you be around are normally, your dog, maybe your cat, your reptiles, they're used to you, they get fed by you. Don't really have
for the most part.
Many wild instincts that they get to act on.
Yeah.
They just kind of vibe in the sun or in the heat lamp and chill.
Yeah.
But if you go out and you see a fucking bear in the wild that's not used to humans, that'll fucking maul you.
Oh yeah.
Because you're a big squishy meat sack.
Yep.
Your
dinner.
I mean,
literally.
If you're from Dagestan, bro, you're probably all right.
If you're from Dagestan and your name's Khabib Nurmagomedov, you could absolutely smash a bear. I'm not sure if you're familiar with UFC, but
I am a little bit, not a super fan or anything, but I dabble occasionally.
Yeah. You see, what was most recent one you seen?
Oh gosh, fully? I guess it wasn't
even main event, whatever. Most recent fight.
None recently. I mean, none since COVID, but probably the McGregor boxing match is probably the last one that we actually bought.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'll tune into like highlights and stuff like that. I don't.
Yeah, that's
none
fair.
of my friends
That was
are super into it. So
it was a really disappointing night for Ireland. I must say,
a disappointing night for sports in general. That was
most people hate
boring.
him until he's fighting, and then if he wins, we won. If he loses,
he lost.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of where we kind of start seeing a fall of him, because the guy had just become the first 2-time double champ ever. And next thing you know, he goes and loses against Floyd, and
he beats up some old guy in a bar. Then he shit talk Khabib, makes fun of his dad, calls him like dirt. He's just, and then he loses.
Yeah,
but
he got beat.
He got fucked up in that fight.
Well, he's also the only guy to have ever like won a round on Khabib, though.
That's true. That is true.
Also,
the little victories, people.
You know that thing of like if it bleeds, you can kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Khabib's never bled in a fight.
Jesus.
And he's like, what, 29-0? Like he's never lost. Like, fuck, that is
he retired though.
Scary shit.
Retired, didn't he? Yeah.
I don't see him coming back.
No, he's not coming back. I don't expect it, at least.
You never know. They might announce
he's coaching lads.
St. Pierre fight, man. I think
St. Pierre said doesn't want to do it.
He's never gonna come back, did he?
Yeah, his what's it like? Something colitis. Like he's got some fucked up stuff in his stomach.
Does he?
Which is why like he looks a bit like swelled in the belly.
Oh.
Maybe Crohn's or something.
He can't do it anymore.
Oh,
poor lad.
It's a shame, bro.
But he still trains, like, but he knows like fighters take advantage of that shit. Like we know when Brock Lesnar fought and he just had the surgery in his abdomen. Of course, where was he getting like punched straight into?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or same with like Nate Diaz and a scar tissue. I mean,
his scar just over here.
Yeah.
You give him a good one there, it burst, he's blind, you get him again.
Yeah.
Man, fighting's rough.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Although watching Nate Diaz and how many punches he throws is wild.
And how many he takes. He's a beast.
Yeah, yeah. He's got jaw of steel, that's for sure.
He's fighting next month, I think. He's coming back.
He's too old to, man. He's too old to.
Oh no,
he's gonna stop.
I think he's gonna put on a show for us, man. He got a surgery done, like for his scar tissue there.
He'll definitely put on a show. I
hope he does.
It's you don't want to fall from grace. Like you want to do what Khabib did and retire at the top. Not
you don't want to pull an Anderson Silva.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't want to come back, lose, be like, oh, next time, come back again, lose, and now you're the loser, not the champ.
Yeah.
Because Anderson Silva lost 8 times before he finally got kicked off.
Yeah, that's too many. Like,
now he's fighting in boxing. Did you hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
He's having a boxing match now under. I think it's with the Jake Paul thing.
Am I the only one that thinks that boxing is insanely boring compared to UFC?
We're on the same page.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad I'm not alone. All respect for boxers and what they do.
Yeah.
But it's a martial art that limits your ability to do things.
Yeah.
And I don't know, sports that have limits don't allow you to reach your full potential, I think.
Absolutely. It's very technical, and I'll give them that, but it's, I don't know. The intricacies that are the UFC and all the grappling and striking and just everything that goes into it is like, ooh, it's definitely, it makes for great entertainment is what it is.
Yeah. It's definitely beating boxing at its own game. I mean, 20 years ago, boxing was the biggest thing on the planet.
Boxing's been in decline, and MMA has been on the rise.
Yeah.
It's a good correlation.
Like Dana White's doing something right with promoting, with everything. I mean, it's making boxing look like...
a champion of promoting is McGregor.
Yeah.
No, he plays on the money for those guys.
He's good at it.
He's good for like 18 months or something and promoted the fight and then lost, but still.
Love him or hate him, he got like a lot of Irish people into the sport.
Yeah. I mean, we're big into it now because of him. I mean, we still watch all his fights, and there's a little glimmer that you hope he wins, but then you kind of remember he's a complete ass outside of it. I mean, like recently,
I like to feel better about him sometimes, but like he did his thing yesterday that made me just go, "All right, man."
Like he promised
yesterday.
He promised Dustin Poirier after their fight he'd give $500,000 to his charity, and Dustin Poirier
never did.
Oh no, never did. Whereas Khabib did it in 9 days when they fought. So it's like, it's kind of like, it's typical Conor. It's what
Yeah,
you
that
expect
sucks.
of him
But in fairness to him, and to say his side, he did say he'll pay it when he gets paid, which is implying the UFC still hasn't paid him for that fight, which was a minute ago. Like, man, that was a
Yeah.
while ago. That was in like February. So they probably should pay him by now. That's it's always been a discussion like in the UFC about fighter pay. Is it
Yeah.
being done right? And if it really takes that long, that's not looking
Probably
good.
not.
Imagine
Yeah.
being one of the underdogs. Like, imagine being like in a preliminary fighter. And you
and
get like,
hoping for that 10K or whatever.
yeah, you're waiting for that
Needing it.
5K
Yeah.
and you're waiting for like 4 or 5 months for it. Like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be really bad.
That's
It's
rough.
horrible.
But yeah, I don't know how we get here. Is there any MMA being done with lizards at the moment? Maybe crocodiles?
That would be terrible, but cool.
Yes, that would be terrible. But they do it anyway when they're out and about in the wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever see
can just
Komodo
go
dragons
outside.
fight?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not. I mean, a lot of monitor lizards do it. So they
Just get up on
combat
2
in that
legs
way.
and like kind of smash into each other.
Yeah. Yep. It's all just a grapple.
There you go. Grappling in the animal kingdom.
Exactly.
But
that's where it came from.
yeah. What group of reptiles fascinates you the most?
I mean, the answer is all of them. Like, there's every animal, especially reptile. I mean, animals in general have something to teach and some new aspect to learn. I know it's a cop-out answer, but
God damn it, Michael.
I know, just off the mark constantly. I don't know. The Varanus are really cool. They're super intelligent, so delving into that's awesome. A lot of the
Oh, you're right.
a lot of the parthenogenic species, like I have morning geckos, they are basically all females and produce asexually, so they're all essentially just clones of each other.
That's cool.
That's really weird. How's that work?
There's a couple different species in reptiles that actually do it regularly, and there's a lot of actually monitor lizards have been documented doing it too. Interestingly enough, and I have no idea how it works, but some or a lot of monitors that do it will produce a male out of it somehow. I have no idea the science behind it.
And if you know anything about genetics, that makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly. That's why it makes no sense to me, because I'm like, I know about genetics. Like, I've taken the courses and this makes no sense.
Yeah.
And I just haven't taken the time to actually delve into it, because
it's probably a very
whole
complex
project on its
topic.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
That's like
it wouldn't be a
quantum
it does
physics for
this.
biology. It's just
Yeah,
fringe,
exactly.
just out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's weird.
It's a strange phenomenon.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird how like things like that stuck around, but like, after like the dinosaurs hit the hay, it's kind of weird how like, something like a silly little lizard kind of stuck around, but like the likes of just even, man, there was a fuck ton of dinosaurs and like so many didn't make it through. Like they've estimations that they lasted like a couple thousand years until they finally went off.
Yeah.
But realistically, like nothing cool stuck around. You're looking at like the most basic of birds that they even reckon like the first or the birds that survived were non-arboreal. So, like they didn't live in trees. They had to learn how to fly again.
Interesting.
Yeah. They see that from like the branch off with two bird groups. So one like obviously flies, one doesn't.
Yeah.
And like the common ancestry there, like still didn't fly. So
interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but that's
you're a reptile guy, even though birds are technically reptiles.
Shh.
You keep any birds? I'm not hearing any.
No. My girlfriend had a couple, but we don't have them anymore, unfortunately.
Just loud.
Loud, yeah, is the main issue. There are some complications with some construction and stuff like that. And then the other one's just too loud for the entire family. When we have our own place, we do hope to get another one. But
there you go. Chicken coop, you'll be set.
Nope.
There you go.
Parrots.
No.
Parrots for sure.
You still think chickens are vicious?
Oh no, chickens are cool. If I was gonna do chickens, I'd probably do quails instead. They're like nano
They're like
chickens.
tiny.
Exactly.
About size like 2 fists put together.
Exactly. And like button quail, like tiny. Can feed the eggs to our animals. We can eat the eggs.
Some of them can still fly though, right?
I think they're kind of like chickens. Yeah, I think they're kind of like chickens where they're more or less terrestrial, but when they need to, they can kind of give a little pump and get some air, but it's not like an eagle or most other birds.
That would be pretty terrifying. You know,
that would
okay, that's a whole other episode right there.
Yeah, right
eagle chickens. Swooping down, just picking up your cat and flying away.
Dive bombing you with eggs from the sky.
Hey, there you go. Yeah. Oh my god, that's terrible. But yeah, I don't know how we got here. How we've been doing this for over an hour.
Yeah.
But Michael, you're an awesome dude. You are the best. So I guess before you head on, tell us a bit more about your YouTube channel and if people want to check you out, what kind of content you make.
Yeah, so I make a lot of, as you guys have talked about throughout the show, a lot of reptile stuff. I'm trying to do more educational content now, where be educating more about like heating and environment design. And I'm building a couple different tanks and stuff, so there'll be some terrarium builds going up. But a lot of my channel is like reptile room tours, getting some new animals, caring, feeding videos, that kind of deal. That's what gets the views. So
that's what works.
Yep, that's what works.
But that's what you're at.
So that's kind of what I'm doing. I do work full time though, and taking care of the animals is a lot of work because we do have an entire room just dedicated to them, and so it's slow going, but I try and make one at least a couple times a month, and hopefully, like, my goal is to get it weekly, but it's need to balance things. Yeah,
man. And what was I going to say?
Instagram. One of my TikToks blew up yesterday. That's
interesting. Dude, tell us about TikTok.
I don't like. I more just swipe through TikTok, but yesterday I was like, you know what? I'll just make one. So I had a saved video on my phone, and I just posted it to TikTok. And overnight, I woke up and there was like 35,000 views and a bunch of. It just blew up. I was like,
It's one of those weird things. You can just blow up for nothing there.
TikTok
you can work so hard on
YouTube
and then nothing. Yeah. But on TikTok,
yeah, it's right now, if you're developing, a podcast, a business, a whatever, to not have TikTok is just silly, because it is capable to just explode, like a random video out of nowhere.
Maybe we should give that a go.
Yeah, post random clips or just make content dedicated to TikTok for the podcast, and it would be a smart idea for sure. Even if it's just another small audience. The more
I think we start off with this clip. That's pretty good advice.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, man. Like, if people want to check you out, they know where to find you.
Yep. Mike Tytula, Alpha Reptile. I got Instagram.
What about the podcast?
Haven't started it yet. My girlfriend and I are in the midst of starting our own, business. I suppose it's a website called the Jungle Vault, and it's live now. Like, the website is there, but
what's it about?
It's just reptile sales, plants, educational content will be there eventually. We'll be offering stuff like custom terrariums and things if people are interested.
That's cool.
Either having theirs built out, or I can build it from scratch, like just out of glass. So many different options, but that's kind of where to find me.
Cool.
I like to think I'm easy to talk to, so if
you
guys have questions or anything like that, just send me a message and answer when I can.
There you go. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to find him, you know where to find him. Michael, it's been a pleasure. You're very easy to talk to. I know I threw some weird shit your way. We had some awesome conversations. So it was very nice talking to you.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Awesome. So there you go. You know where to find him. So if you got this far, fair play to you. As always, loyal listeners out there, fair play to you.
All two of you. Hi, Mom.
And the watchers. Hi, Mom. Hi, my laptop. No. So yeah, if you got this far, fair play to you. Take it handy and good luck to you. Bye-bye. Top of the morning, lads and ladies. Support for the Awfully Irish Podcast is now brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming.
Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and you're no longer need the look of the Irish with the ladies. Manscaped just launched in Ireland. We've gone years without using the right tools for the job. You can now be one of the first men in Ireland to experience their life-changing products.
Your balls will thank you.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code IrishPod at manscaped.com.
That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code IrishPod.